Hi, this is Sam Van Leer. I'm president and founder of Urban Paradise Guild, and I'd like to welcome you to our ACE Preserve project. This was funded by the Public Spaces Challenge in 2018, and we are so grateful for the funding. So this area that you see behind me used to be totally covered with Australian pines, which were poisoning the native habitat, literally killing it. And we have completely removed those with just a few exceptions. Everything's going to go, and we have replanted this in the prior rainy season in 2018 with native habitat. So what you see behind me are native trees, and they were raised by volunteers in our nursery at Amelia Earhart, a prior Public Space Challenge project, and brought in here and planted by other volunteers, supervised by our volunteer staff and our urban forester, Daniel, who's taking this video. So we really appreciate the Public Space Challenge, and what I'm going to do is give you a little tour about the impacts that this is creating that go beyond habitat. So this is what it looks like when you neglect a site. This is what big areas of our project area used to look like. Australian pine have totally taken over. They have killed off virtually all of the native plants and trees that were here, and if you look down, you'll see that they've actually poisoned everything that used to grow here. There are no native plants coming up through this because that mat of leaf matter is full of chemical warfare agents. And if you look closely over here, you'll see this white stuff here is actually a chemical warfare sap that's being dripped on the ground. Concentrated death. So if we don't remove Australian pines, then all of these small trees want to be huge. They all want to be a diameter like this. They all want to be 50, 60 feet tall, and they all want to kill native habitat. Now, over here you can see all the native habitat that we've planted. Most of these are our babies. Anything taller than waist high probably came from our nursery and was planted by our volunteers. Now, on this side over here, you can see that this is a work in progress. We are still removing the invasives there, but this is going to be ready for planting in the rainy season of 2019. So we're really looking forward to it. Now, what's going to be extremely exciting is we're going to be planting the shade row here very soon. And this is a collaboration with the city of North Miami. So the Public Space Challenge funding that we got for this project catalyzed the city of North Miami to help us do even more. And one of those things is going to be to plant large shade trees, 25-gallon pot size, right along this pavement edge here. They're going to auger huge holes. We're going to work with city staff and city employees to get those planted. They're going to be watered by the city, and that is going to reestablish shade over the paved pathway here. It's also going to narrow the pavement, because the fact is that people don't need all of these lane space here. So we're really looking forward to it, and I know that the stakeholders here, the walkers, the dog walkers, the nature lovers, the bikers, the commuters to FIU, they all value this shade. ACE Preserve is a wonderful place. A lot of people are here for the nature. Some of them are here to walk their dogs or jog or commute to school, but this is a public park that people love. And we're protecting this capacity right here. So, good morning. This is one of the things that makes ACE Preserve unique. Here I am standing on this bike and pedestrian pathway, but right here we have a little part of Biscayne Bay coming through in this tidal creek, and this connects straight out that way to Biscayne Bay. It's about a quarter mile away. So alongside it we have mangroves. These are white and black and red mangroves that UPG has been protecting. We actually rescued them from Australian pines. And this is an area where we're also going to be setting up a kayak launch. So people can paddle out of here with kayaks and canoes and stand-up paddle boards and all that good stuff. So it's one of the things that makes this place a priceless resource for the community, and it's one of the reasons why the Miami Foundation is choosing to fund our project here. So mangroves are essential fish habitat and estuaries, and over 70% of our seafood and game fish requires mangroves in their life cycles. So bait fish thrive here, and this is one of the values that ACE Preserve actually protects from hurricane storm surge and hurricane strike events because it's protecting the Oleta Annex, which is to the west.
I'm here for my daily walk, and I love the preserve. It makes me feel like I'm away from the city, and this is one of the only places you can feel that way in this area of North Dade. And I'm just so excited about the work that Sam's been doing in Urban Paradise Guild. You can really see the difference, and it's fun to watch the mangroves being planted and the invasives being taken out, and to be able to observe the wonderful wildlife and the butterflies. And I'm very proud that we have this in our community. So thank you very much for all the work that you do.
And how do you feel about the collaboration with the city of North Miami here? Because that's a new thing.
I think it's excellent. This is such a unique North Miami place, and I think this is exactly what the city should be doing to encourage and support work of this nature. Will benefit all of us now and in the future.
So you'll see this steady transformation. In the beginning, it's all Australian pine. Dense growth. There is virtually nothing native mixed in with it. What there is needs to be rescued. Then, while we're doing the habitat planting, we're removing the invasives, we're planting the natives, we're doing the transformation, and then at the end, well, that's the result that we're looking for. This beautiful hardwood hammock ecosystem, mangroves protected behind. That's the objective. That's the transformation. The wildflowers that you see around behind me are narrowleaf yellowtop. They're a beautiful little yellow wildflower that are going to get bigger. We did not plant those. Those seeds were waiting to be rescued, waiting for us to remove the invasive exotics that were killing them. Our project, funded by the Public Space Challenge, occurs inside of ACE Preserve. However, what's beautiful is now we're expanding outside the preserve. Arch Creek East Neighborhood Association asked us what UPG would do with a space like this. And what we discussed was turning this into a pollination corridor. So from here to Biscayne Boulevard is about 1.4 kilometers long. And what we're doing now is we've designed a series of plantings that the city is installing, starting with the first median area there. And so all those little red flags in the pathway, there's going to be a sidewalk going down the center of it, there will be park benches, there will be trash cans, and there are going to be what we call butterfly stepping stones. So these are butterfly habitats that are planted specifically for wildflowers and larval hosts so that the butterflies can fly from one to the next and discover this whole area. So it's going to reconnect from here to Biscayne Boulevard. We're going to also add pollination down this stub of 135th Street over here, which is about 0.3 kilometers long. And of course, Arch Creek East Environmental Preserve, ACE Preserve, is another 0.6 kilometers. So the total linear distance of the pollination corridor will be about 2.3 kilometers long. But of course, what's beautiful about this from the transit perspective is these dedicated bike paths. So these were part of the original street design, and we may look at ways to enhance it. However, what we're going to do is make it so that cyclists will have a place to rest in the shade. They'll be able to enjoy the butterflies, stop and learn. So this is part of the fabric of our community. Are there any transit corridor areas or any transit features in the city that you think could benefit from having more plants and trees and shade?
North Miami is, I believe, 7 by 7 square miles, and I think all of those should be added canopies, native plants, pollinator corridors. Yeah, every square foot of the city would benefit for incorporating those ideas.
A public space challenge can do many things, and it's really up to you to be inspired to find these opportunities. If you can do that, then if you have community support, the Miami Foundation may support your idea. So here, it takes a village. We're working with city government, Arch Creek East Neighborhood Association, people around the neighborhood, park stakeholders. That's how we change the world. Your project is going to be different, but look for the stakeholders, look for the village,